Okay, so welcome back to Winter's Mask. I think there was an update. I'm not sure. Turn the volume up. So before we start, I'm really happy to announce something else. So, I received a call earlier this day from a shoe shop that I applied at that I'm getting an interview tomorrow. So I'm very excited to start earning money again. So we're gonna continue from after she got her hair cut. Time passes, the days continue as usual, borrowing nothing memorable on them. A permanent grey filter covers the world. It looks so tasteless, does not seem to have a single interesting thing in it. People, things, feelings, all of them are so distant. About 4 years have passed, and in all that time I had not made a single friend. I walk alone every day, sometimes hearing people murmuring, but I never give it importance. I do not approach them, and they don't approach me. It was some kind of imaginary pact between us. My hair has grown long again, with a beautiful red color in the tips, something unusual but elegant. Wasn't there a red tip before? It's not an accident. There's a reason for it that others will not understand. Also, I got a uniform after entering high school. Those two things seem to be the only thing changes in my life. The rest is great photography, immune to time. During class, more than paying attention, I spend time looking at the nothingness. My eyes are attracted by a small signal, a colleague speaking, someone across the hall. Whatever occurs outside the window or anything else that can distract my mind momentarily. At the start of the semester, I used to read the textbooks, but it did not take me more than a few weeks to finish them. Sorry guys, it's my timer. It's terribly boring, but going to school is an obligation. I have to keep the good image of my family, even if it's unnecessary. Easily, I could learn all of this at home and much more effectively. It is a waste, but that's what happens when you are born in a culture where education is viewed with such high regard. Or perhaps I should say the schools. Despite paying a minimum of attention, my grades are the highest. Dude, I wish I was her. Like, even if I pay high attention, my grades slip. It is very easy to understand the different subjects, but I think it is somewhat unfair to say it since I'm not like them. I managed to avoid entering a school club with the excuse that I have to help my grandmother at home. It's not like there were many people anxious to recruit me, but at least I had a reason. Nobody then returned to bother me. Like any other day, I walked back to the subway station, carrying my school bag with both hands. My sight is low, paying more attention to the ground than around me. What does it matter? They're both the same. Boring. So she thinks humans are boring. Then suddenly I see a point of snow on the ground. Now it starts to snow. I ignore and keep walking. It is winter, so it's normal. Snowflakes fall gently, piling on the ground. It is something that most people would call beautiful. I walk a couple more steps and stop without reason. Then look up at the sky, covered by clouds. The falling snow is so ordinary. I just can't understand what is so special about it. It's graceful. I'm actually jealous because it doesn't snow where I live. I live in Australia, and it doesn't snow in Australia. So it's sad. Hold on a minute. However, the idea that there is something more I cannot reach doesn't leave my mind. In truth, I'm broken. There's a piece missing inside me. Perhaps if one day I find it, I will be able to see the beauty in something so mundane. I shake my head without wasting more time. I resume walking. In silence, I board the train, watching people come and go without any of them having any effect on my life. When I arrive at home, it is already dusk. There's little daylight left. I'm home, I announce with respect and a cold voice the moment I open the door. Immediately, a servant appears to take my stuff. She asks me if I want something, which I respond negatively, shaking my head. With reverence, she withdraws, and soon I forget about it. The rest of the day is quiet, repeating itself like any other. When it is bedtime, I turn off the light and wait for a new day to begin, having no expectations. In the dark, I watch the ceiling of my room while I try to sleep. Not being able to sleep is really a nuisance. But I got nothing else to do today. I often wonder what others think while in bed, about what they did during the day, what they didn't do. What would they like to do in the next? I guess one of them. I, on the other hand, have nothing to think about. The past day was mundane and boring, and the next will be exactly the same. The routine has me consumed. I long for a change, but even that desire is weak. I sigh and close my eyes, trying to put my mind blank. All that remains for me is to wait. In the end, it's only a matter of time before realizing night ends. Oh, it's morning! I get up early in the morning, always at the correct time. I don't need an alarm clock, I already have one in my head. That's what my mum has me do. Usually, I get up late, but when I was school time, my mum was like, oh, set an alarm at 7. And I was like, why? Can't you get me up? And she was like, you know, if you get up at 7 every day, you're going to get up at 7 sooner by yourself. And I was like, nah. No. In my mind, I'm able to tell the time almost perfectly. After waking up, the next step is getting ready to go to school. It'll happen silently as always. A bath with hot water, brushing my teeth, changing my clothes. Finally, the last step is breakfast. What makes it especially uncomfortable, however, is that I have to do it in the company of my brother and my grandmother. She has a brother? Good morning, I said politely as I entered the living room with a small reverence. Hello, Yuki, answered my grandmother Kazane with a fiend friendliness. Why fiend? Tamashi's not here? She closed her eyes and sighs with annoyance. No, he left early. That boy seriously needs to learn some manners. I guess Tamashi is her brother? I look in silence without knowing what to say or even if I should say something. Kazane then smiles, fake as always. In any case, don't let that bother you, Yuki. Let's see, it is the best way to start the day. Yes, I said before sitting in a traditional way. Traditional way? I think in Japanese, sitting traditionally is like kneeling. It's more like kneeling than actually sitting. Now my usual place in the table. In the table? You mean at the table. Thanks for the food. After that short conversation, not a single more word is said. The minutes pass and soon it's time to get up. I leave the dishes on the table. A servant will pick them up later. Then I head to the door. I'm going out now, I said with respect after putting on my shoes. At the same time, I bow towards the interior. Then I open the door and finally get out of my house. The next step is to get to the train station. To do that, I go down the hill where my house is located, moving past other big mansions that clearly belong to rich people. A private chauffeur could take us to school every day, but my grandmother does not allow it. She says that going as normal people teaches humility. I'm honestly indifferent about it, or perhaps even prefer it like that. So she's rich, but she doesn't want a private chauffeur? Yeah, that's what Japanese train looks like. I also want to actually take one, but I've never gone to Japan. It's a shame. Once in the train, I look for an empty seat. It takes about half an hour to reach the station where I get off. During that time, I see people go on and off without giving it real importance. Next to me, a boy plays with his phone. Oh, please say it's the boy that met her. In front, a couple of girls talk amicably. Judging by the uniform, they study in the same school as I. Nothing new, a photograph of every day. I close my eyes and sigh. Only a few minutes left. Have you heard of the new student coming to school? A little. Honestly, I don't care much, replied the other girl before yawning. Is he handsome? Of course, that's the first thing you think. Is he hot? Huh? Said the first, surprised. You should pay more attention. After all, people say this guy is dangerous. Dangerous? Gee, dangerous. Exactly. Observed the girl without actually showing much interest. Well, I heard that he hit an upperclassman with a hammer a few years ago, nearly to death. What? And they let him into school? He hit a person with a hammer and nearly killed him. Oh my god. He should be in jail. The girl does a long pause after saying that. Boring. Oh my god. Finally, exclaims out the girl. If you want to be scary, you should learn from Master Red. Here at Michi, we're not scared so easy. Master Red. Ah, that's Yuki, isn't it? You're a jerk. Replied the girl, slightly irritated, but then laughs. Her friend smiles amicably. I cannot talk. Well, what is his name? The girl looks up with a thoughtful expression, trying to remember the name. I'm guessing. Okay, before she says the name, I'm guessing it's whatever the boy's name is. Is it Ichijo? Ichijo. Ichiro Tanaka. Oh no. It is him. Ichiro Tanaka, I think. Suddenly I feel a chill run all over my back. And with my mind blank, I sigh and then I cover my mouth with both hands, feeling them so cold. I knew it. It's him. But he seems to be a nice boy when he was young. Now he's what? A thug? A low delinquent? My heart jumps with such force that I could feel it in my throat. What was that? It feels so strange. I breathe slowly, trying to calm down, but my heart keeps beating fast. Even more than when I'm in combat. Ichiro. Whisper, my lips almost inaudible. I hadn't forgotten that name. I close my eyes and swallow saliva, then I hear the train arrive at next to the station. I appreciate it. Somehow that sound helped me to get out of the confusion. Yes, I still have to go to school. Just keep your mind on that. I look at the girls again. The conversation changed to another topic that I don't care about. I guess it's for the best. I take a deep breath, trying to calm down. Then I look at my cell phone. The screen says it's 7:36 a.m. There are still 10 minutes left to get to my destination. However, that short time became unusually long. My eyes react uneasily to any small change around me. There's no reason. I simply can't stay still without looking at something. But there's nothing here I want to see. When I get off the train, it's 7:47 a.m. But why am I thinking so much about it? What difference does a couple of minutes make? I bite my lip with anxiety and start to walk faster than usual. I'm going towards the school, hurried, with my head full of noisy thoughts. How do I know it is him? It could be someone else with the same name. Really, same last name? Yes, it makes no sense. The Ichiro I know is not the type of person who would attack someone else. Dude, you don't even know Ichiro. Like, she's like the Ichiro I know. I'm like, you just met him like 10 years ago? For like 0.3 seconds. All he told you is his name. What if it is him, but has changed so much that he became unrecognizable? It is a possibility. Normal people tend to change as they grow. Yeah, of course. Yeah, like lovely people grow into murderers, huh? Idealist abandon a dream. The weak become strong. What they used to hate, they learn to love. They don't kill someone, then bash someone's head in with a hammer. There are so many possibilities. Even if it's really him, it doesn't mean he will be as I remember. Look, I changed. But I don't change from an innocent girl to hitting someone with a hammer nearly to death. What if he doesn't feel anything for you? Of course it has to be that. It is not reasonable. It is impossible he could remember me. A part of me even wants that to be true. But I still remember. I'm the only one who has not changed in all these years. Not that it's a lie. Something did change in me. I did it, Ichiro. I let my hair grow as you like it. Would you wait, idiot? Suddenly, I hear a male student say angry. Immediately, my heart shrinks with shame. It was my fault. I was walking absent-mindedly, and accidentally I ran into another student, one not kind at all. My sincere apologies, I expressed at the same time I bowed. The guy doesn't look pleased with the apology. He looks at me for a long second with sharp eyes, as if I were a dirty bug he wanted to step on. Then suddenly grabs my hand. Ow! I cried confused before looking away. I don't fight back. I could easily destroy him, but my will is weak. It was a stupid mistake. I now had to pay the consequence. This is how I felt. The boy makes a disgusting smile. You caused me serious emotional damage. How are you gonna make yourself responsible? I can feel his breath. It's warm and stinks. My heart hardens when I realize his intentions. It took just an instant, but he wasn't hiding them. Again, I find someone with a disgusting look, equal to the one I saw many years ago. My bodily suddenly feels cold. If he touches me, I will not forgive him. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Suddenly said a male voice loudly. I gasped with surprise. Somehow hearing that got me out of my mind. The boy turns his head and looks with scorn at the one who said it. You shut up. This is between us. She already apologized. Also, I hate bullies. Is that Ichiro? Same hair and green eyes. The other guy's about my age. He is tall and slim with short black hair, no beard or mustache, and with looks that is familiar to me. I blink while staring at him confused. Why is he capturing my attention? No, more importantly, why does he care? This can be all solved quickly with an apology or a beating. But it's not something that requires someone else meddling in. Why would you deviate from your way then? Both boys stare at each other with eyes, suddenly saying none was going to take his word back, until finally, a few seconds later, the bully releases me. Idiots, not worth the problem. It's Ichiro! The boy said before sighing displeased and then walking away. Then the second boy turns to me and sighs with relief. That's some bad luck, but please be more careful, he said friendly before resuming his way. Wait! Chotomate! I cried without even thinking what I was going to say next. He stops and turns around, tilting his head confused and curious. Thank you for helping me, I said, doing a reverence. My voice sounds shy. This time is not an act. My heart beats fast while I think about the name of that person. I know him. Yeah, I'm sure of it. Now I only have to confirm it. Could you tell me your name? He scratches his head, feeling it wasn't necessary. Tanaka Ichiro, he says so casually, as if it had no importance. But listening shook my world completely. I cannot begin to describe how I felt. For a moment, my heart stopped. Then it began to beat faster than ever. I hold my breath, unable to look up. I'm still with my head down, bowing, but that is because I can't move. I don't know how to react. I swallow and then breathe to fill my lungs with air. Tanaka, let me do something to repay you. My own words surprised me, but there's no lie in them. I want to be close to him. I want to know more about it. Oh, you don't have to, honestly. Just be more careful. He replied, embarrassed, while moving his hand down, telling me with the gesture to calm down. Please, I just want to do it. Thank you for helping me. Oh, this is cute. After saying that, I finally look up. I stare into his eyes and then unexpectedly make a small and sweet smile. I think the first time I ever did. The first time it wasn't a fake, at least. I see how he made me blushes, and it's adorable. I don't know how to explain this feeling, but it's warm, gentle, and pleasant like nothing else. It's so different from what I know in my day-to-day. I don't want to ever separate from it. At least we meet each other again, Ichiro. Oh, don't tell me it's a dream. Don't tell me it's a dream. Suddenly the sound of the alarm clock reaches my ears. Until a few seconds ago, everything was completely silent. I lazily opened my eyes as I rubbed my face and exhaled deeply, letting out a grunt. I reached for my phone and raised it over my head, lowering it in front of my eyes, just in time to see the clock change from 7 to 7:01. I quickly shut off the alarm by tapping the phone with my finger. It is the beginning of a new day. The warm rays of the morning sun stretched through my window, illuminating the last few traces of darkness in my room. I spent a few seconds laying in my bed, just looking at the wall, accepting the fact that the sun has already come out. That's me every morning. I'm just like, please, sun, go back down. I want to go back to sleep. I yawned, then glanced back at my phone and checked the morning news. Nothing interesting, as expected. I sighed, still disappointed. It seems that today will just be another boring day. Oh, she has anime posters in her room. Oh my god. I think this is from another game. I'm not sure. I think I downloaded it on Steam. Don't know when I played though. Without further delay, I get up and head to the bathroom. Once I finish my business, I descend to the living room. There I find my breakfast waiting silently for me, my rice with eggs and soup. Wait. This isn't... No. We're not playing as Yuki right now. We're playing as Ichiro. I was like, wait, this isn't like Yuki's room. We're playing as Ichiro. Right? I think so. Without hesitation, I sit down and start eating alone. My mother made me breakfast before going to work. While watching television, I see a reporter talking about the latest homicide in the city. Except this time, it just seemed that it was a simple armed robbery that had gone wrong. It had not been an act of organized crime. It's not something that particularly interests me. I'd really prefer to avoid that kind of news. Sometimes it just seems that the media simply wants to feed you with fear and helplessness. Though I guess it's inevitable, considering crimes are a part of daily life here, and whether you want to hear it or not, it's what everyone talks about. Once I finished breakfast, I took my dishes to the kitchen to wash them. I then head back to my room to change into my uniform for my new school. Yeah, new school. Because Ichiro transferred, I guess. We're playing as Ichiro. Afterwards, I check it to see if I'm missing any books or utensils. I prepare to leave and close the door behind me and lock it. What follows is simple. I walk to the train station to board the morning train. This will have been my third day of school since I moved to Momiji. I glance at video game articles on my phone while the sound of the moving train echoes in the background. While I am standing, I notice the surrounding people who I know nothing about or desire to know anything about. The atmosphere overflows with the dead silence. We're all so very close physically, and yet between our hearts, there's an infinite distance between us. Anyways, this is simply a part of being a human. When I hear the doors open on the train, I quickly shut off my phone and begin my long walk to school. I start to notice other students with the same uniform as me, walking in the same direction. Some of the students were already wearing their coats, but that's perfectly normal considering it's now winter. I don't bother trying to study on anyone's faces, because I wouldn't know any of them anyways. I then cross the entrance to the school and begin to head to my classroom. I sit in my assigned seat and keep quiet while I wait for classes to start. Only the other students who arrive at the classroom. They'll talk amicably without paying attention to anything else. I did it. I said amicably. I think back back to my first day of classes when everyone gave me critical glances and whispered behind my back. However, it seems that I'm not very interesting, as they quickly lost interest, and everything returned to the normalcy that I'm used to seeing in the classroom. I was hoping someone would ask about the rumors that surround me, but I'm grateful that didn't happen. In short, it hadn't been the best start for me, but with time I hope that I can make some friends. After all, it would be such a pity to finish my school life without having any memories of friendship. I leave my thoughts when I hear the teacher enter the classroom. Immediately, the president of the class tells us to give a greeting, and then class finally begins. I listen to the professor speak while time passes without any incident, falling into the monotony of every day. More than once I glance at the clock and discover that only a few minutes have passed by, but that is part of school life. After all, our time here is only controlled by the class bells. There are many things that did not go well for me in the past few years, so I need to make the effort not to repeat my mistakes. This is a new opportunity for me and a new beginning. Hours pass without incident, just like any other normal school day. My thoughts break once I hear the lunch bell ring. The teacher then says some last words before putting his things away and leaving. Some of the students bring their own food and prefer to stay in the room to eat and talk. Others, as in my case, need to go to the cafeteria to buy something to eat. It's either that or suffer the nightmare of having an empty stomach for the rest of the school day. Without losing any time, I stand up and head to the cafeteria. Oh! However, as soon as I leave the room, I suddenly stop and look back. She's there again. I say with annoyance. I can't help it. Again, that girl is following me, Aketsu Yuki. Since the incident with the bully, she has been following me. She waits for me in the hallway and walks silently behind me. I only get rid of her when it's time to get back to class, but throughout the lunch, she's always behind me. Her steps are so quiet that you can listen to others talking as if I was truly alone. She looks like a little cat asking to be adopted. That one time, Yuki told me she wanted to do something for me. I rejected it, saying that it was not necessary, that she just had to be more careful. However, it seems that she has not forgotten about it. At all times, she maintains a very serious expression on her face. I don't think she does it out of malice. Actually, I think that she doesn't even know why she is doing it. When I sit back at her, Yuki looks down in distress. She doesn't say anything or react. She just stands motionless like a statue, blushing with embarrassment. Oh my god. She's like that one obsessed, like that girl, like Yandere. Like she's like obsessed with him, but it's like she's too shy to say anything. At first I thought that ignoring her would be enough to stop it, but now I have my doubts. Yuki seemed to be very patient, as if she was capable of spending a lifetime just waiting in silence. I closed my eyes, thinking for a moment about what I should do. I don't like it, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. Maybe I should tell her, or at least ask her what she wants. But at the same time, I feel like ignoring her would be the best way to convey the message. Oh, I think I should talk to her. Like, if I saw, like, a guy following me, I'd be like, can I help you? Like, what do you want? I take a deep breath before making a decision. I don't feel good about ignoring a girl, even if she's a nuisance. I should talk to her. I can't just leave things the way they are. With that in mind, I walk towards her, feeling my heart beating with embarrassment. Yuki looks down shyly. She never expected me to come near her. I walk down the hall with heavy steps until I reach an empty area. I don't want anyone to see us talking. Why? Aww, is Ichiro shy? Ichiro's just like, I don't want anyone to know we're talking, okay? Then I turn around and stare at Yuki. She's surprised when I do. Blushingly, she looks down but doesn't say a word. I knew she would follow me. Without hesitation, I approach her. Aketsu, right? She simply nods silently. Then she looks up, looking in my eyes shyly. The color of her eyes is a very unusual red. It's attractive, but at the same time intimidating. Why are you following me? Yuki immediately looks away. I wait for her answer, but the seconds pass without her saying anything. I exhale full of resignation, and then I put on a very serious face. Please stop doing it. I understand that you're grateful to me for helping you, but it's uncomfortable. I thought adding that she was also making other people see her as strange, but in the end, I didn't. This is not about them, but about me. I also believe that she's already had a reputation before. Immediately, I noticed how the look in Yuki's eyes changed. It becomes more serious and cold. I will not. Even if Tanaka does not like it, I want to do it. That is her unexpected response. I blink confused, unable to utter another word. I thought she would simply apologize. The truth is that she made me feel like the villain of the scene by denying something so small to a lonely girl. Yuki has no friends, and unlike me, she's been living in the city since her birth. Of course, that doesn't mean that everyone is mean to her, or at least, I don't think they are. But Yuki seems unable to form bonds with other person. Her personality is very quiet and calm, and most would describe it as boring. There's also the issue of her last name. Everyone is afraid to socialize with a member of the family in charge of the darkest business in all of Momiji. I'm the only exception to the rule, the only person she approaches. I would have never imagined there would be a girl after me, much less there would be someone like her. But I cannot leave things as they are either. I cross my arms and direct a penetrating gaze towards her eyes. I keep silent for a couple of seconds so that she realizes my intentions. Please don't be so stubborn. Also, you probably have better things to do than following me in silence. It's not like my life is very interesting either. I speak with seriousness and firmness without being rude. Then I wait for her answer. Yuki shakes her head in denial with a strong look in her eyes. Is she really happy with just following me? Without even trying to talk to me? I can't imagine that she would not want more. When I look at her, I think she has lost all hope of forming a friendship with another person. So she simply has stopped trying and is content with just that. I would be lying if I said that it didn't bother me. But I also hated having to see her. This girl pushed aside because neither society nor her know how to talk to each other. I leave out a long sigh at the moment my expression changes from anger to resignation. It seems there's no other option. Well, if you plan to keep doing it, why do you not at least walk next to me? It'd be better to walk together than for you to simply keep following me. And also, you would not give such a bad impression to others. I answered without thinking much. It was a logical response, however, I couldn't have imagined the repercussions of my words. Yuki's expression was of complete surprise, opening her eyes wide and poking her finger in a timid gesture. Quickly, she looks away, blushing. Is she really a member of the dangerous Aketsu family? This girl's just too shy. If it were not for her last name, I would have never thought about it. Well, would that be fine with you? Do you not worry about being seen walking by my side? They will think ill of you. I think it's already a little late for that. And then at the same time that I scratched my head shyly, sketching a silly smile. My reputation was ruined before I arrived. Rumors travel faster than light. Yuki looks at me with a great curiosity in her eyes, cocking her head and blinking a couple of times without saying a word. My heart jumps suddenly. It looks just adorable. It's unfair coming from someone so dangerous. Without being able to avoid it, I blush, and Yuki laughs sweetly and elegantly, covering her lips with her hand. It lasted but an instant, no more than a few seconds, but it was so bright. It lit up a unique sensation in me. I'm happy. Thanks, Tanaka. Yuki says with bow. She called me by my last name with formality, but her intentions to get close to me are quite obvious. I'd have to be blind to not notice them. So far everything is fine. However, suddenly I hear something that ruins the dramatic scene. Unexpectedly, I hear my hungry stomach roar like a furious beast, asking to be fed and causing me to blush an intense red. Aww, that's so sweet. I look down in silent embarrassment, motionless for some short seconds that I feel like an eternity. What? Meanwhile, she watches me silently as if there's something unusually fascinating about me. Well, ignore that. Oh, I say with a blank mind. You can expectedly laughs again with as much elegance and beauty as the first time. Seeing her makes me question why would I have wanted to get such a pretty girl away from me. I'm an idiot. She's so pretty. I guess we can stop it here because making 1 hour is just too long and I have better stuff to do and I also have to read a creepypasta to post later. So thank you guys so much for watching Yuki's Winter Mask. I'll be continuing. So I guess I can save it. Empty slot 3. Save this. Okay. So we'll go back home. Yes. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Remember, stay creepy. Bye bye. Love you all.